down south. Hood baby, hood baby. Make all the girls go crazy, go crazy.
Go stupid. But you smart like an A+ student. Right now, looking for your love right now.
What up? It's your boy Nick.
It's your boy Sammy.
And it's time to pump the brakes, y'all. This week we finna pump the brakes on entrepreneurship in this generation. Sam, you want to kind of elaborate on what we're gonna be talking about in this segment?
Well, in terms of entrepreneurship, we're talking about how people take a lot more risks nowadays when they start opening up their own business. What advantages they have of doing that, what disadvantages they have of doing that, and how people think, how people move nowadays, how people don't want to work for anybody else besides themselves nowadays.
Man, jumping off of that real quick, I want to say, like, what are we going to consider entrepreneurship in this generation? Like, we got a lot more opportunities than our grandparents, our parents and stuff did. So, like, are we considering, like, TikTok influencers and stuff? Are we considering those businesses? Because they make money off of it. So are we considering that entrepreneurship, even though it's kind of like a influencer or personal? Is like they're representing other brands. You know, they do makeup for Fendi, they Dunkin' Donuts sponsorships, this, that, and third. How are we doing that?
I would say it's just people representing their own brand. As much as they're probably representing the other Fendis or other stuff that they're doing, they're still representing themselves. The video is still their video.
Gotcha.
And I consider it entrepreneurship if you could have your certain income to survive off of that.
All right, yeah, no, I feel that because they work for themselves. So, like, if they wanted to do something, they can do it. But if they didn't, at the same time, they can turn it down. I just kind of want to hit on that because I hear a lot of people. It's kind of like the whole is cheerleading a sport.
Right.
You know, is TikTok and being an influencer, is it entrepreneurship? I do agree with you. I think 100% that it is entrepreneurship because at the end of the day, if you, like I said, if you don't want to do something, you don't have to do it. And you can be perfectly fine with it. And I feel like I think we redefined entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship used to mean, you know, starting a business and, you know, growing that business. Whereas I feel like we are now changing it to where entrepreneurship is solely being able to provide for yourself without help from any boss or anything else. Right. And I definitely feel like, I mean, hell, even the scammers, the influencers, musicians, everything. I feel like we get into the bag each and every way.
Any way possible.
Yeah, man. But what you thinking this generation versus last generation?
Last generation, I'm pretty sure. It looks to me, well, for me personally, it's like they're more into working, getting their jobs, whether it's a blue collar job, office job, whatever it is.
They want the 401k.
Right. They want those. They want to make sure they get their money when they get their money. They don't want to fluctuate in their pay. They want to be able to know, I go to work this week, I'm getting paid Friday. We good to go.
Gotcha. Yeah.
This one, we more like, we could do that, but while I'm doing it, I'm trying to figure out how to make an extra sort of income.
Gotcha.
We always looking to make more money instead of just staying at the same pace all the time.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel like this generation is money hungry,
Right.
But also, I mean, you hear they say, you know, we're the generation that's not gonna get Social Security, not gonna get 401k and stuff. And I feel like if you pay attention to that, it definitely motivates you more to want to do something versus, you know, our parents were like, oh, we go work at this job for 30 years, 40 years. We retire, we get a good pension, you know, we get good Social Security, everything. And now we're like, hell, even just working nowadays don't really have the same effect that it did on our parents. Like, literally, we work and we can still barely afford things versus our parents used to work and they used to make way less than us.
Facts.
And still had money to go do everything they wanted, you know.
Vacations here and there.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's crazy. Like, nowadays, we're making the most minimum wage that we have ever seen. And it's still booty. It's still booty pay. But like, so I guess I'd say, like, what do you think makes us the way we are? Do you think it's seeing our parents' situation and everything? Because not everyone comes from the struggle. Right. I didn't come from the struggle and stuff. You know, I grew up in the suburbs and, you know, my parents raised me right. I had stuff growing up as a kid. I didn't have everything I wanted because my parents, you know, they were humble and they humbled me. But we definitely didn't go without, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So do you think that plays a role in how people go get it? Like, What?
Yeah, I think it does, because if you grow up in a certain way, you see your parents go to work, say if your parents work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, or they work 12-hour shifts or whatever. When you see that, when you grow up, you're like, I don't want to do that. Your lack of seeing your parents because they were working, even though when that time came around, they'd be like, oh, I need this pair of shoes. They'd be like, do you really need the shoes? Then you show them, oh, my shoes are busted. They'd be like, all right, cool. Here, or if you do need some, then they'd have no problem doing it for you.
Yeah.
And just sacrificing that for not seeing them at all. That's generation we grown up, we have our kids or whatever. It's like, now I want to spend time with my kids. I want to not do as much as my parent did, but I want to make more.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that. I was about to say, because I definitely, I think my mindset changed when my son was born this past July. I feel like it definitely made me think, yo, I can't be working for another man or another company. Because, like, what if my son came to me one day and was like, hey, Dad, I'm having a football game this afternoon, and like I really don't want to be like, hey, boss, I need to get off work early and stuff. I would rather just be able to be like, all right, son, what time? Right. And know that I can be there, not having to go ask permission. I think that's kind of one thing that this generation is big on, is not having to ask for permission, right. Doing stuff their own, like no regrets, no regrets. That's
exactly what we're not too much. We don't ask a lot of people's opinions. We just we're a lot of do.
Yeah.
We're not too much wait and see. We're a lot of do. We're a doing generation.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I would definitely say that. No, I was watching. I can't remember exactly what video it is, but they said that they thought that this generation or the generation after us will be the richest generation. What do you think?
I don't know if I would say that exactly. It just depends on what goes on in the next few years or whatever like that. But if everybody starts buckling down, do what you got to do as of right now, and be prepared to make the jump into start your own business or whatever you see fit that you want to do, or you start making those videos or whatever, by all means, go crazy, do that. And then if it does, and if it works out for everybody, hopefully it does, then sure, why not?
Now, there's only one kind of valid point that I had seen on this video. And I feel like it's kind of like the only solid evidence that we have as to why we would be the richest generation. And that is because we are the first generation. Our generation was the first generation with super chips, which most people are going to be like, what are super chips? Right. We're the first ones with iPhones. Right. We're the first one with phones, and period. Our parents were on the kind of end of that, but these mobile devices have made millions, not only for the creators of the mobile devices, but for what we can do on them. And I feel like our generation has taken full advantage of what you can do. Like, look at our TikToks influencers, Charlie D'Amelio, Kabi, right. All of them, are even earlier than that, Vine, like Jerry Perp Drink, King Batch, Emmanuel Hudson, everything. Like, I feel like we literally got it. We took it. We ran with it, and we're doing the absolute most we can with it. And that creates so many jobs, because if you become, let's just say you become an influencer, or we become influencers overnight, then we need a team, right, which creates more jobs, and we're most likely going to hire younger people around our age who will be able to help us. And it starts and it keeps on going and going and going. It's very rare that you see like an older person who's not already famous for something doing like internet stuff and kind of blowing up, like $1 Million Worth of Game, which is a great podcast, phenomenal podcast. I like it. But Gillian Wallow had a name before podcasting. Let's see, Breakfast Club, Charlamagne the God, Angela Yee, all of them. They had their careers before podcasting, and now it's kind of like on the end of their careers. But I feel like they still took full advantage of what is. I feel like the only ones now that I can say are older generation that took full advantage of the internet or having access to these super chips is probably what's his name? comedian from down here. I feel like we got a lot of older comedians that are just now, popping off on social media and stuff. But I feel like definitely this generation has probably opened so many doors. And I feel like that's the only reason that we would probably be on track to be the richer generation. Because other than that, we be broke because we work for other people.
Right. So me personally, I think in those days, in terms of those folks that you called, they did it in different ways. All of them tried different ways before they started using cell phones. Started to use social media and stuff like that. For example, the Breakfast Club, they started doing radio. As some people used to listen to the radio all the time. Then they expanded, they started doing podcasts, they changed it to YouTube videos, they do all different stuff now. And each and one of those individuals, they have their own venue, their own lane. Charlemagne, he writes his books. And we got her, Envy, he's a DJ, he does his car shows or whatever. Angela Yee, she's about to start her own radio show. She has her other podcast she does her interviews and all this stuff. All those people had their own way before they started basing their stuff off the internet. Like comedians, for example. Comedians back then and comedians back now, two totally different time frames and mindsets or whatever you want to call it. Because back then, they're looking for open mic nights. Oh yeah, let me go to this open mic nights. Let me go to that one. Let me see if I can make these people laugh or whatever. Nowadays, people just be like, they can sit down and make this video with a joke or whatever, this, that, and third. And then they get a chance to be like, oh yeah, come open for this person. Oh, let's open for that person. But at the same time, what we do have to realize with that, we got to understand that people that make skits aren't always stand-up comedians. So that's the thin line between it all.
So would you say that the internet is a crutch for entrepreneurship or for getting there quicker? Or would you say that it's not a crutch? Like, would you say that the internet is actually a helpful source that people don't overly abuse?
I would say it's helpful because in certain terms, like what I was saying before, they didn't have the internet. We have free advertisement. You make a TikTok, you make an Instagram, you make a Facebook, you post your videos, you post your products, you post a service or whatever. People share it, your friends share it to their friends share it to their friends. In like 2-3 days, 1 million people already saw your posts. So like 5,000 people out there, 1 million people want to be like, oh yeah, I need this done, or I need to buy this product, and that's you pretty much there.
But I mean, I guess I'm kind of hitting that. Like, do you think it's too easy for us to become entrepreneurs nowadays? Like, you got rappers who will literally say they dropped a song once and it blew up, and now they're millionaires and stuff. I feel like, do you think that that's too easy? Do you think that we're all immature with our money and everything because it's so easy to come upon it versus back in the old days where you had to literally work, you had to word of mouth it, you had to let somebody know that you had to be on the radio station. Like, getting on the radio station was something huge back then. Now someone get on the radio station and you're like, dude, just make a YouTube video about it, or dude, just make a TikTok. Wait, like, why would you be on the radio? Like, no one listens to the radio.
Well, yeah, in that terms, I would say it's easier. Definitely a lot easier. And since it is easier, and at the same time, I don't know. It just depends on how everybody wants to promote their business, start their business, and go about doing that.
So do you think word of mouth is still a thing when it comes to entrepreneurship and starting a business? Do you think that it's still like beneficial to have business cards and have flyers and stuff explaining what you do? So like, say me and you were to start a car wash business. Do you think it would be beneficial to us? And like, cause we're already going to automatically we're going to post it on social media. Hey, come get your car washed. Da da da. Granley and Nick, Sam and Nick. Da da da. But do you think it'd still be beneficial, that door to door action, that handing out them business cards, that show and tell, basically show and tell?
Definitely, cause you do want to be open to all demographics. You want older folks, you want younger folks, you want everybody in between. You want everybody to come out and enjoy your product or your service. So yeah, it does help.
Gotcha. I mean, I think I'm on the same path as you. I definitely feel like when it comes to the older generation, they do respect more of the giving them the cars and stuff. But I think it definitely depends on what your demographic is. Like a car wash, it'll definitely be a demographic towards anybody.
Everybody.
But I feel like if it's, let's say we're making web pages and stuff, I feel like we kind of want the advertisement to be more on the internet so they can see what we're doing. So I definitely feel like it depends on what services you're providing, whether word of mouth is going to help you or not.
Right. So yeah, that's true. That's the most important part. Who you're trying to sell to, who you're trying to give your services to, whatever. That's where you got to understand as an entrepreneur wanting to start your own business, where you want to go with your business.
Yeah, but I also see a lot of older people on the internet now. So like, do you think as a whole that it'd be like if we were to right now say we're going salmon next barbecue? Do you think that people would hear about it best from us being out, being vocal, sign spinning, old school stuff, and in our county, or do you think that we'd get more attention and more publicity if we were to tweet it, TikTok it, Instagram it, any social media and say, hey, me and Sam just opened up this barbecue joint. Y'all come check it out. Do you think we're going to draw more customers in from that or draw more customers in from sign spinning, passing out business cards like the week before and just, what do you think?
No, definitely internet. In terms of that, we mean definitely internet by far. Because then you got the people that want to go and search up on Yelp. They want to go Google food places near me. Want to see how much ratings they got. So that's how that.
I feel like that's a valid point, but I think I'm going to argue the other side that I feel like if we're talking about a barbecue restaurant or a barbecue food truck or anything, I feel like we're definitely going to get the best customer base from our community. Of we're active in our community, of we're sign spinning in our community, everything. Because I feel like we're definitely not going to have a bunch of people there. Like we posted on Snapchat or something, and there's people in Wisconsin who see it and stuff. They're not going to travel all the way down here to get some barbecue. I feel like I feel like that's where word of mouth really comes into play. Like I feel like word of mouth could never die down because you've always heard something about somebody. If you ask somebody, hey, I'm about to take my car to this shop, and you look at reviews on it, that's basically still word of mouth. Right. It's just written there and it never goes away. But you definitely gonna ask, you'll probably ask your parents, hey, mom, pops, you ever took your car here, or should I take my car here? That's word of mouth. So I feel like word of mouth will definitely always kind of outweigh internet in most situations.
Sure, very true. I agree with that.
Yeah. Now, in entrepreneurships, who do you think is getting to the bag more? You think it's boys or girls nowadays, bro? My boy Kyle just made it to the top, but Charlie was out there for a minute.
Right. I'm gonna say females. Females got this one because females do more female demographics in their services and their products. We got females out here doing eyelashes, doing hair, wigs, weaves, all that stuff. They're not gonna sell. Well, they got guys out there doing that kind of stuff, but they're not selling to guys. They want their females, they want their girls, they want their homegirls, they want their homegirls to come out and do their wigs, their weaves, their eyelashes,
yeah,
nails, whatever.
Yeah, no. I don't know, bro. I'm team guy. But on this one, I think I might have to go girls too. I feel like girls have woken up a lot more and have decided that if they aren't going to get treated well, then they're going to treat themselves. And I feel like they've used that as a point to push themselves further and further and further and further. But I feel like we also have a lot of female role models out right now who even though it might be in a provocative way, they're telling girls to get to the bag.
Right.
The Meg Thee Stallions, the Cardi B's and stuff, they might not have a political way of delivering a message. But even in their music, they're basically telling, get that bag and leave. Yeah, peace out. All that, the FREE song or whatever and everything. Like, even though those songs are what they are, it does have a message behind it. And it's basically telling them, hey, you don't need a man. You can get it bag by yourself. You look at us. And I feel like we don't have that in the male community like as much as the girls do right now. I feel like the girls, like, even if the girls out here scamming, but they got the OnlyFans, they got the feet finder,
Right.
they got, like you said, the wigs, the nails. I done seen so many estheticians or whatever, whatever you call them. But I feel like guys, we don't really got no influence out there right now. It ain't no guys like, and they song rapping, yo homie, get the bag, leave her alone. Like, you don't hear that. You hear them flexing the bag they got.
Right.
And like, obviously we're going to want it, but they not telling you at all how to get it. Like, man, you got girls telling you, man, mess with this dude, take his money and leave.
Right.
And then you listen to the guys' music and they like, I already got the money. I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that. I already got the money. And I feel like, man, like, we kind of not, bro. What?
Right, because I think that's goes back to how guys always been. Guys always on some competing. I'm gonna be better than him. I'm gonna be better than this guy and stuff like that. But then the next thing with us, our services and stuff that we do provide is not the most. It's not the most common way of doing it.
Yeah.
Because then we got somebody somebody opening a construction company.
Yeah.
That guy that's doing that construction, he's not gonna be on everything he does. Oh, let me post this on this. Let me post this on that. I'm gonna get this building done. I'm gonna let this person know this building is done, and hopefully, whoever goes and talk about it.
I feel like it's more doors opening for women though than there is men. Like, cause. All right, let's just be honest. If we were out in the streets right now, someone came up with us selling candy bars. Who are you buying a candy bar for them first? Khloe Kardashian or Rob Schneider? Like, you're getting a candy bar from Khloe, bro. You don't even have to argue,
kind of candy bar,
bro.
Right? What kind of candy bar?
No, bro. It don't matter what kind of candy bar. You know who you get. You know you're not going to Rob Schneider for the candy bar.
Right.
You're going to Khloe Kardashian, bro.
Yeah, you got a point.
You know, of Zendaya's out in the streets selling candy bars, or Freddie Benson from iCarly, who you getting it from, bro?
That's obvious.
Yeah, you're getting it from Zendaya, bro.
Definitely.
Yeah. I feel like, but us as guys should stop that. Just like they say, like, of your black, support black-owned businesses and everything. Of your guys, support your guys, bro. Like, if it's someone out there cutting hair, bro, go slide my man a 20, let him give you a quick little fade. Now, if he dusty, stuff your stuff up, bro, if he make you look goofy, then, you just know not to mess with it. But you probably feel good giving another man that money than having your hair cut by a girl or anything else. Like, even nail salon wise, like, if you can, try to mess with the Asian dudes doing your feet stuff. It might feel weird, another guy doing your feet. But at the same time, like, I feel like we as a community of men need to uplift men, and not that we need to stop uplifting women, but we need to stop solely uplifting women and uplift us both at the same time, because that's when we all are at our best. It's when we uplift each other.
That's a solid point. I agree with that.
But let's see, man. I kind of want to touch on it in another episode, and we probably will. But we can just bring it up for right now. OnlyFans, man. Like, that seemed like
and it's popping off. That's what you want to say.
It's what?
Popping off.
You think it's popping off?
Everybody and anybody got one of those.
Entrepreneurship, though. Is that entrepreneurship?
As I said before, I'm not bashing anybody, but as I said before, once you can provide for you on your own with it, that's your business.
But man, like, come on,
nobody
like,
that does that.
Would you call a prostitute an entrepreneur, though?
No, her pimp is the entrepreneur, not the prostitute. Is the
pimp. So is OnlyFans, whoever created OnlyFans is the pimp, and he got what? So I don't know. Elaborate a little bit, bro. Elaborate.
If you want to get into it like that, then somewhat like it. But on the other hand, it's like, no, because the person that made it, not knowing who the person is, I don't know if they charge people to start their OnlyFans or they make a fraction of the profits or whatever.
I'm about to say I might have to go make me an OnlyFans after this just to see if they charge to start an account.
All power to you, man.
You ain't gonna subscribe, bro?
No.
All right, anyways, bro. But nah, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like we need a middle section. I feel like they need to create a new word for entrepreneurship, and then we'll throw OnlyFans, Pornhub, all that stuff in there. Like, because I probably throw them in the boat with influencers, bro.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's
like,
exactly what it should.
I feel like they influencing young men and young women to, to buy their pictures.
I would say that we could include that in internet-based
Foot finder.
entrepreneurs.
Yeah, all right. I can dig that.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the new title we're gonna start is internet based entrepreneurs.
Definitely.
But I don't know, bro. I feel like all as a whole, I feel like this generation and the generation after us is definitely on the track to become very successful in life, whether it be through real life stuff, as in like starting companies and everything, or internet influencers. And honestly, we didn't touch on it at all, but the gaming community has blown up. Like, of course, our parents and stuff had games, but you ain't never think to record on a Nintendo 64 and stuff. Like, you ain't never think, sit a camera in front of the Nintendo 64, and in 10 years, we'll save it and put it on YouTube. Like, now it's like the gaming community is going crazy, bro. I done seen them $20,000 matches, $30,000 matches, $1 million matches and stuff, and people are making bukus of money off of a game, and you're literally making money off of other people's money.
Right, definitely.
Like, you don't have to create the game or nothing, none of the controllers, anything. You literally buy all that stuff and use it.
Play. That's all they do.
That is wild. That's wild. But just to sum up this episode, I feel like, one, we should all uplift each other, because I'm sorry to say, the Social Security, 401ks and stuff, you might get a percentage of your 401k, but all that money after retirement is gone. I feel like we should all uplift each other, though, because this generation is on track to do some great things. I feel like we've already mastered the internet, but it's more stuff that we could do, and I feel like we should bring back word of mouth. Like, I might start that as a chant. Bring back word of mouth. Make word of mouth great again. But as a whole, I feel like girls are definitely getting to that bag, so I need my guys to step up. But I also need us to support each other, support the guys. But while we're still supporting our queens, our girls, anything else you want to touch on before we go?
No, that's it for me. This was a solid episode, man.
Yeah, all right, man. Well, as you know, this is your boy Nick.
It's your boy Sammy.
And that's us pumping the brakes, man.
Down south, hood baby, make all the girls go crazy.